everybody, it's Bas here from Carp Specialist, and thank you very much for watching a new Carpy Cast episode. It's the 28th of July and we've got plenty of news again. I'm back at the office after a midweek fishing at the new hidden carp lake with my family. It was absolutely stunning, but back to work again, and here's the new Carpy Cast with several new personal records, but also extreme heat in France and also quite a lot of weed growth. Well, let's start with the weed growth. You probably are aware that the European regulations for using pesticides have become more and more stricter over the last years. We really see it in combination with low water levels, like here for example. Less pesticides being used, the water is getting cleaner, which is of course great for the water and great for the fish, but also for the growth of weeds. So it's a thing we have to face with. At the moment quite a lot of our lakes are very weedy, so it will really need us to adapt to this situation, unfortunately. But I would really suggest to invest in your knowledge on weed fishing. There's a lot of practical videos on YouTube, how you can improve your fishing, for example using chots or zigs or drop-off systems. And if you know you're fishing in weedy situations right, it will really help you to get more fish on the bank. Well, that's enough. Let's start with, of course, the lakes, the news from the lakes. We kick off at the Koperen Plas in the Netherlands. We've got quite a lot of news there. A video from Remco and his mate catching the lake record. It's a Dutch video, but I'm quite sure you English will love it as well. Gert de Waal, one of our Dutch clients as well, he caught a new PB at 24.6 kilos. And we had Pieter and his friend from the strategy and grade team, the pole position gear, the terminal tackle. We had them fishing swim 1 last weekend, and they had 15 takes and caught 11 carp. The biggest one was the number 2 from the lake at 25.4 kilos. Very nice, and several fish over 15 kilos as well. And he had some tips, as he knows the lake very well. His first tip is just to fish safe. For example, the pole position leaders, they come loose, they lose the rig in the case of a line breakage. So that's well worth the recommendation. Also using the pellets is a good tip from Pieter. The pellets are fed with literally tons per year at the Koperen Plas, and the fish love them, and of course they grow very well on them. Using small hook baits is another tip from Pieter. And his last and maybe his most important tip is maybe to fish with 1 or 2 rods less than you're allowed to. For example, swim 1, it lets you fish with 6 rods if you want, but if you use only 2 or 3, the line pressure is very low and you can see that the fish feed with much more confidence. Then we go on to Dragon Island. Dragon Island, our famous lake in France. We have had our Dutch friend Barry there, fishing the lake for 4 weeks. The first 2 weeks he fished alone from swim number 2. He caught 7 fish up to 24.5 kilos, so that's really a big English 50. And the last 2 weeks he spent on swim 1 with the family, fishing from the luxurious Gite. And then he caught quite a lot of fish, and the biggest one was 26.4 kilos. So if you fancy a challenge, if you like big water and weed fishing, and you like a challenge, then Dragon Lake is really worth the recommendation. And as it's in the Champagne region, it's a convenient drive as well from the Calais terminal. We go to CarpInsula in Belgium. Carl and Alex are launching their video in a couple of weeks, and we've got quite some news as well. Hereby is a small sneak preview of the new Lake Frenzy pool that's being launched in a couple of weeks. It was fished by some of our test anglers, and they did very well there. It's you can really compare it with Mint pool in terms of stocking, so there's quite a lot of fish in the lake. At La Plaine des Bois 1 we had 3 clients there, Dennis, Joep and Jordi. They caught very well. Despite the heat, they had several days over 40 degrees. They caught 21 carp, and including a new PB at 19.5 kilos. So that's an English 40 as well. At Carp Farm Lake in the Netherlands, it was quite a tough week. Last week the zig fishing did great, But this week the zig did nothing, so it's strange to see that the conditions can change so quickly. Everybody did catch some fish, and the biggest fish was 18.5 kilos, and the average weight was over 15 kilos again. So if you fancy high average weight and you like a challenge, then Carp Farm Lake is the place to go to. At Etang de Mont in France, you fish from the safari tent, lakeside safari tents. They're very nice. Jo and his family, it's a Belgian regular guests, really nice people. They spent their family holidays there, and they caught a 21 kilo fish, which was a new personal best for Jo, personal best fish in France. And then we finished at Grand Tarnot. Bram, Kevin and Fina had a nice trip there, and I will include some photos of you. They made a nice report as well, but it's Dutch written, so that will be difficult for you to understand. Of course, I'll include the link so you can pass it through Google Translate. But really nice people there, and it's a very popular lake. It's very decently priced. It's got two-person cabins, so if you fancy a bit more luxury, or you want to bring your wife or girlfriend, then Tarnot is really a nice venue to choose from. Thank you very much for watching this Carpy Cast. We hope to see you all next week. And if there's any questions again, just drop them in the comments. Bye bye!